A victory for us would only hasten the death of an empire in decline. Sooner or later, we would be left to fend against the Thalmor by ourselves. The only entity that can challenge the elves is not the battered empire we have today, but a pact between a free Skyrim, High Rock, and Hammerfell. However, for any fragile alliance between our disparate nations to survive, Skyrim must first become strong and self-reliant like it once was. No, Toryg's woman lacks the backbone to be my queen. She will forever be a symbol of the Empire's corruption of our Jarls. The woman who will bear my heirs will not be someone who's been bought by Imperial coin and would readily sell out Skyrim to the elves. My advisors urge me to marry into one of the influential families who are sympathetic to my cause, but I won't marry for political gain alone. I will need someone who has strength and ambition. Someone who will help me rebuild Skyrim from the rubble and unite the land in preparation for our inevitable fight against the Thalmor. With that said, what I have heard about your feats thus far has certainly caught my interest. You're the one who fearlessly rallied the defense of Whiterun against a dragon. You've earned the respect and favor of my people as the Thane of Eastmarch. Truly there is no one else better fit to rule beside me other than the Dragonborn herself, don't you think? It's true that there are those at the Moot who would consider our joint rule as an affront to tradition. But Nord or not, you are still Dragonborn. We Nords venerate our heroes, and a union between us is befitting of a legend that the bards will sing about for thousands of years to come. With the people's support, surely the nobles of the Moot will accept that we have every ounce of legitimacy to rule once the Imperials are ousted. Good. I'm looking forward to having you by my side. But first, we'll have to win this war. If you are to serve among my men, I'll still have to treat you according to rank and proper decorum. Preferential treatment, perceived or otherwise, can be damaging for the soldiers' morale. They must trust that their leaders can remain impartial. Getting hot-blooded now, are we? I like that. Good. Let's go.
So my Thane is now the Archmage. How fortuitous. Now that you've mentioned it, I do have something in mind. If you're interested, I have an empty position in my court that could bring us a little closer together. Ruling over a city that lost so much of its glory has left me cold and empty. I yearn for someone who can ignite the fire in my heart once again. My wife has been beside me through my darkest times, but she just doesn't excite me the same way as in the past. You, on the other hand, have a strong will that gets things done. An indomitable spirit I've never seen before. And what an honor would it be to bed such an enchanting woman. I don't like mages in my court, and I'm making an exception just for you. Through your courageous service, you have already proven yourself as a friend to Winterhold. Whereas the previous Archmage and the other treacherous bastards from the college are milk drinkers who couldn't hold a candle to you. All right, fine. I think we can work something out. How about I grant you a one-time donation towards the college, in exchange for your ambassadorial services? As for you, I think you'll find that being the Jarl's mistress has its own perks. Just know that this changes nothing. If I could have my way, I would still rather have your college be swallowed up by the sea. We both have reasons to despise one another. And remember, at the end of the day, we're both just using each other. Then we shall see if there is some truth to that. Somewhere quieter, perhaps. Good. Let's go.
Not at the moment. However, I hear Ingun Black-Briar is looking for you. Try speaking with her.
Indeed. I have a job for you that concerns my daughter, Ingun. It's time for her to start focusing on the family business and cease her foolish experiments. Convince her of this. Because I've heard how she talks about you at the dinner table. Young hearts can be fickle, but I know when my daughter is obsessed. Use her emotions as leverage. If anyone could persuade her from wasting her life concocting those useless little potions, it's you. My daughter is valuable to me. I've guarded her virtue against many drooling suitors all her life. This time I think she's enamored with the right person. Do this one task for me, and she is yours. Should you succeed, consider this as an offer of alliance with my family. One that runs deeper than our existing partnership with the Thieves' Guild. Good. Make her see reason.
Huh? Wait a minute. Mother sent you, didn't she? All right. Why are you really here? Why can't she just give me a chance and leave me alone? Someday I'll prove her wrong. I know my talents are useful. Anyhow, I appreciate your honesty, friend. I knew you'd be on my side. Well, she's not wrong. Why do you ask? Are you interested in me too? So she's trying to use my affections to get what she wants. Manipulative as ever. Not to worry, I have an idea. I heard about the raid you did recently, against that nearby skooma den. Mother paid off the guards who seized the leftover moon sugar supply. The shipment is in her hands now. Her workers are having trouble refining the stuff. Perhaps now is the time for me to step in, show how my alchemy skills can help the business. In turn, she'll likely let me continue with my experiments, and allow us to be together. Anyway, let's move on to a more exciting topic. Since now I know our feelings are mutual, I want you to take part in my new experiment, shall we say? Perhaps my most gratifying one so far. Pleasure can have more potent effects on the body than any potion. I, for one, am very eager to observe its impact on your inhibitions. So lay with me. I want to feel your pulse racing, see your pupils dilate, and hear you breathing hard as your leg muscles twitch. All this as we rub our bodies against each other, covered in the stirring juices from our loins.
Good. Let's go.
Well, how about you stay in Dawnstar for a while then? The rebellion's raging. With all the men I'm sending to the front lines, Dawnstar needs a protector. You should join my quarters, my new housecarl. However, as a woman, you'll have some extra nightly duties. That's fine. Perhaps you don't need to be my housecarl, but you can still perform the other duties I had in mind. Forget about bolstering the defenses and all that. I'm offering you a special role that's reserved only for someone so captivating. It deals with matters that require an intimate touch, just the both of us, privately. Don't play coy with me. You know how all the men in town look at you. You swing those hips like you own the place. I always know what's going on underneath a woman's dress. And you, I like. I see a pair of firm tits under a tight fit. You probably know how to make an old man feel young again. And as my mistress, you'll do just that. Are you deaf? This old man has ruled Dawnstar for over 35 years. In case you've forgotten, all the men in the Pale bow to me. So grant your Jarl the pleasure he seeks and serve him well. He can certainly make it worth your while. Wonderful. I've never had a young elf flower like you before. I think we're going to have a good time. Good. Let's go.
These are troubling times indeed. I hear daily reports that my people are destitute. Many are starving and desperate for work. Families torn apart by the war. The state of the land deeply saddens me, and it's all my fault. I'm the youngest daughter from a wealthy family. All my life I was only conditioned to be a good wife. I never learned to lead. I know of the discontent among my people and that there are whispers in my court that my rule will not last. Even General Tullius doesn't heed my opinions. I'm a Jarl who doesn't have the respect of her people, her court, and foreign dignitaries. By what right do I have to be High Queen? Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. You're the only one whom I feel I could be vulnerable with. It's also why I'd like to ask you a special favor, one that mustn't see light outside my court. I was at the Temple of the Divines the other day, seeking absolution for my shortcomings as a ruler. The High Priest asked me to make a sacrifice, to give away something important to me. And what better thing is there to offer other than my beauty and noble dignity? Legends say that the Dragonborn is blessed by the Divines. If that's true, then perhaps you should deliver my punishment. You must personify the contempt of every citizen I failed, become a vessel that embodies their carnal desires, then strip away my noble finery and treat me like a common whore. Use me for pleasure so I could make up for their misery. Just thinking about it, is it wrong that someone of my stature is yearning for this? I know this is supposed to be my act of repentance, but the thought of being degraded like this is strangely arousing.
Good, let's go.
Watch that tongue, girl. You may be my Thane, but nobody demands anything from the Jarl. However, I will grant you what you want because you've proven yourself useful. You're a talented fighter, I'll give you that. And you alone are worth an entire legion against those forsworn bastards. I'm glad you're satisfied. Now I do have one more thing. If you don't mind, I'd like us to have a deeper partnership. One that's beyond just you killing forsworn in the hills. A private arrangement that I'm sure both of us can derive pleasure from. It's a simple offer. I'm asking you to become my mistress. All these reports about forsworn terrorizing the hold and trade routes collapsing every day are a massive pain. I haven't had a good romp in a long time, and you're an enticing woman. Easy on the eyes. Secondly, I trust you. You've done enough work for me that I know you're not an agent of those savages. At first I thought you were no better than a common mercenary. Your brazen courage proved me wrong. You're clearly a young woman with confidence in her own skills. Now, I want to see what else you can do. Tell me, are you as skilled in bed as you are in battle? Indeed. Let's retire to my quarters, or some other place that you prefer. Good, let's go.
What? This can't be! I thought I was rid of that cursed blade long ago. Farengar promised me that this would never happen again. Where is the blade now?
Now where is it? It takes a while to make a dress, Dad.
Do you know what you are dealing with? Do not underestimate the power of that evil blade. Although you may have control over the blade today, in time, it shall be your body and soul that the blade wields.
I'm going to tell Father you said that. He'll tan your hide for sure.
So be it. If you think it could be used to protect the people of Skyrim, then, as the Dragonborn, I shall trust your judgment on this matter. But please, do not forget its evil nature. It led me to actions I now regret. Once again you have saved this city, my children, and now my life. When it comes to naming you my new Thane, it is shaping up to be a wise decision. I suppose I should reward you, but there are no other titles I can give. However, I have a unique proposal that comes to mind. Running this city is an exhausting business. I could use some company. And you happen to be a compelling and captivating woman. Not like anyone I've ever met. As it stands, I have a rather intimate position in my court that would suit you perfectly. I admit, Nelkir is my bastard, but I love every one of my children all the same. So don't you worry about getting pregnant from our occasional tumble in bed. Any child you bear for me will be well cared for, from cradle to grave. Good. Let's go.
Why, yes, I do have something in mind specifically for you. Other than killing bandits, are you interested in providing some more, how should I put this, unorthodox services? I'll be blunt with you because I know you wouldn't dare to turn me down. Becoming the Jarl has allowed me to have the finest wine, food, and garments. Now, I want to claim the finest woman in Skyrim to add to those. You also look like you haven't been sullied by a man before. I think we should resolve that. So come to my room and let me take your maidenhood. It's only right that the Jarl gets the first turn. Oh, come on, it'll be fun. And might I remind you that you're not in a position to refuse? Mark my words. As the Jarl, I will have what I desire, one way or another. Careful now. If you were anyone else, I'd have called the guards. Fine. I'll make sure you're compensated up front. I trust that you recognize the added privileges of being the Jarl's mistress. Is that deal sufficient? I reward my friends richly. And if I have to open Falkreath's coffers wide to have you spread your legs for me, so be it. Wonderful. I've fantasized about this for a while, you know. Oh, we're going to be breeding like rabbits. Remember to enjoy it as well. I want you to unleash your inner whore. Good. Let's go.
Our family's blood holds a gift that has kept Morthal safe for years. Yorick will be what Yorick will be. However, it is not he whom you should be concerned about. There is someone else who requires your attention. My daughter. She is entering a new stage of womanhood. You have an important role to play in her journey to master her body and mind. It is a delicate matter. Find my daughter and she will speak for herself. I grant you my blessing to satisfy her needs in any way you see fit. Thank you. Your efforts to assuage her troubles shall not go unrewarded.
I've been having, I guess you could call them visions. It's been coming with some painful headaches lately, but Mother says they are a burden we must bear for our gift. To be honest with you, I don't know how much longer I could withstand the pain. I need your help. I had a vision. Normally my visions would come as nightmares, until recently. I started dreaming about you since we met. And they were good dreams. Instead of fear and terror, I felt bliss. I'm not sure how to say this. I saw a flash of blinding light, and we were together, undressed. You were holding me. Your fingers were reaching inside my body, areas that I never explored before. Given the circumstances, I think this is a sign. Perhaps fate wants us to be together. I apologize if this all sounds outlandish to you. I'm not crazy, I swear. This is very difficult for me. I admire you a lot and I don't want to scare you away. But my visions are real, and they often mean something. Really? You do that? You're too kind. I've never been with another girl before. Or anyone at all, really. I'm not sure if Thank you. I'm ready. Rid me of my innocence. Good, let's go.